Now broadcasting from the Next Gen Conservative Studio in sunny South Florida, bringing you the latest in politics, current events, and pop culture. This is the Whitfield Report with Sam Whitfield.
Well, hello there, folks, and welcome to the Whitfield Report. And yeah, folks, this is why I don't usually go live on a Monday afternoon, because right as I was getting ready to go live about an hour ago, I got a phone call from my doctor regarding some paperwork for a wheelchair that I'm trying to get. So, yes, as Max sent and said in chat a while ago, I am in fact light and disabled. But anyway, welcome to the show. And honestly, ladies and gentlemen, I wasn't planning on going live today. In all honesty, I was debating whether or not to do this as a just a video or as a live stream. I was originally just going to do this as a video, but then I figured, I haven't been live in a couple weeks, so figured I would do it live. But anyway, here I am. So anyway, where have I been the last few weeks? Let's just start there. As some of you may know, about 2 weeks ago, my grandfather passed away at the age of 88. He was a good man, and I miss him. And he was one of the people who I wouldn't really necessarily say inspired me to start the program, but he was an early supporter of the show, an early supporter of the Whitfield Report, and he was a very smart guy. He was in the Air Force for probably a good 15 years that I know of, at least I would say. And then he went into the private sector and worked for several very successful companies of his own. Very successful companies doing media and human resources. So, and then he had some ventures of his own that he was successful with as well. So he was very entrepreneurial and very smart. And on top of that, he just gave me some great advice, and was just a big influence on my life. And I guess when he passed, that's kind of the funny thing. When he first passed, I didn't initially I was sad, but I figured, well, he's 88, that's a long time for anyone to live. He had a good long life. And so at first I wasn't really grieving all that much when he passed. But then the following, the next couple days, the Sunday after he died was when we went in to see his body, and that was the first time, ladies and gentlemen, that I had actually seen like an actual real life, deceased person. Uh, I've been in situations before where I've been to funerals, um, and in memorial services as a kid for like great aunts and whatnot, and for my other grandfather on my dad's side. But in those cases, either the casket was either closed or the person was already cremated, right? So I had never seen an actual dead body at that point. And, I thought I would kind of be, I didn't really know what to think. I thought I would be, unnerved by it. And I wasn't. He looked very peaceful when I was able to say goodbye to, him, and I was able to thank him for everything that he had done in terms of, influencing me and um, just supporting me. And so, it was emotional when I said goodbye to him. Um, but, you know, after that, I decided it would kind of be a good idea to take some time and kind of just take some time to grieve, take some time off, and really, just be there for my family. And obviously, I miss him and I am grieving for him. But the other thing, too, is this was my mom's dad, and this is the first parent that she's lost. My grandmother's still alive. And so, I'm sad because I lost my grandmother, but I'm also sad because my mom has lost her dad. And it's it's one thing to uh to look at your mom or your dad as your parent, right? But it's another thing to look at them as individuals and children themselves, so to speak. And so it's been very emotional for her, and I just wanted to be there for her. And, you know, I just felt it would be best to take some time off from the show to do that as well. So, I took a hiatus from the show for the past 2 weeks. Um, and then a few things happened in regards to the show. Well, I was gone, and there have been some changes, which I am now going to announce for the show. So, one of the things that I've been asked over the past couple weeks, um, even going back into late January, is there have been people who have noticed that Apex Gamma, my co-host, has been absent from the show for the past few weeks, and I've gotten a lot of tweets and DMs about Apex Gamma, and where has Apex Gamma been? That's been one of the primary you know questions that I've been asked. And so I want to I want to kind of clear things up with that real quick. So Apex and I are still, in close contact. We're still good friends. Nothing has happened on that front. But we did an episode last Tuesday, I believe, where we talked about the black on black violence with the black cops beating up that uh guy at the traffic stop that happened in um oh geez, I wanted to say it happened in Memphis. That incident. Um we did a show on that, which I know some of you guys caught. But after that stream, Apex and I had a conversation, and uh just to be blunt and kind of be honest with you, Apex told me that he feels that he needs to take some time off from the show. And um, and this is more in the sense of that he has some stuff that he has to deal with on his own. He's had some personal issues of his own that he wants to work through. I don't want to discuss the specifics of that, but he's had his fair share of challenges over the past few years, and um, I've always told him that personal matters and family matters come first before the show, and that if he needed to take some time for himself, that would be, that I completely understand. And so he feels that he needs to do that. Um, and so, in a roundabout way, Apex, I guess, for the time being, has left the show, just because he has felt that that's the best, thing for him right now. And I support that. Um, if he, wants to come back at some point and do the show, I'm always happy to have him back. Um, but the man's got to do what he's got to do, and I fully support him in whatever he decides to do next. So, I wish him the best of luck in his future ventures, and maybe he'll pop on from time to time. But I didn't want people thinking that like I had pulled like a Steven Crowder or something and just canned his ass or something like that, because that wasn't the case. This was kind of something that he had been thinking about for a while. And so, he told me that he just needed to do his own thing, and I, support him with that. So, he decided to, take some time for himself, and then Akaba Insomnia, my other co-host, pretty much the next day, kind of told me the same thing, more or less. So I'm not gonna lie, it was kind of a bit of a doozy to lose two co-hosts in about a 40-hour time stream. But the thing with Akaba is, I initially brought Akaba onto the Whitfield Report because he was the co-host of The Good, the Bad, and the Vicious, which was Mr. Vickers' podcast, and I mean, he still is. And at the time I brought him on, the Vickers had just gotten swatted, and they weren't really sure if they were going to be doing a podcast in the future. And so my whole thing is, well, the Vickers might have been, they might be out of the podcast game for a while, but Akaba still has, talent. He's still a good podcaster. And so I invited him on to, continue his gaming segment, on my show, which he did. And part of that was because I think he's really good at what he does. Part of it too was I wanted to kind of annoy the the Vickers Alogs a bit, and whatnot. And I think we both kind of succeeded in that. But Akabo told me that he recently he's been very busy just with his job, and he doesn't have time to do 2 podcasts. So he is still doing the good, the bad, and the vicious, and you can still catch him over there. He may guest appear on here every once in a while, but he he's doing his thing, I guess, too. And he also works in the video game industry, which can be very intense. So yeah, you can still catch him on the Good, the Bad, and the Vicious podcast, and I highly recommend there. I'm on there a lot these days myself. I wouldn't really say I'm a co-host over there, but I am a frequent rotating guest, let's say. So that's that. So for right now, I'm in a sense I'm doing the show solo. But also I now have a new producer that's kind of helping me with the show, and that is the infamous king of the cringe coffee house, Mr. Max Sand, who is a mod on the channel. And what's funny is about a year ago or so ago, I interviewed Jack Pierce, aka Johnny Fox, aka Falco Punch 64, who, believe it or not, was one of the guests that Apex Gamma had initially booked for me. And at one point during the interview, which you can find on this channel and elsewhere, Jack or Johnny Fox or Falco Punch, whatever you want to call him, made the point to bring up this random guy named Max Sand, who I didn't know who he was. I did not know who Max Sand was 2 ways from Sunday at the time. But Jack decided to tell me what a piece of shit this Max Sand guy was. And it was kind of out of left field. It was like Jack was mentioning someone who I hadn't even heard of. And so it didn't mean anything to me at the time. And then I can't remember how I found Max, but he and I crossed paths, and I'm like, oh, you're the guy who Jack was talking shit about. And we got to talking, and Max is a great guy, and now we're friends, and he's been on the show before too, so a lot of you guys do know who he is. I just kind of find it funny that I found my producer, or my new producer, through a guy who was talking mad shit about him just a year ago. So yeah, that's I don't know. I find that amusing of sorts. So Max Sand is going to be producing the show, or rather helping, along with Shmuley, who Shmuley is going to be producing and slash co-hosting on occasion in the future. And honestly, I have to be honest, I don't know that much about Shmuley's life, like personally. I know that Shmuley is a fellow Florida man, which I really appreciate, but Shmuley is a mystery to me in a sense, and he's he's kind of a mystery to all of us, even Max. Nobody knows who Shmuley is fully, except for Shmuley himself, and there's something charming about that, I guess. I wouldn't say I wouldn't say he's exactly like Mr. Medicare, but he kind of has some of that like sly, mischievous, like uh internet irreverent type humor that Medicare has. And I like him, so he's also helped to he has also offered to help produce the show, so that will be interesting. And so that's kind of the new cast, so to speak, for the show. Uh, and then during the and then also during my hiatus, I ran a poll on Twitter in which I asked, should I change the air date of the Whitfield report? And long story short, the answer was an overwhelming yes. 75% of you said I should change the show from Saturday to another day during the week. Let me try and find that poll if I can here. It's buried on my timeline. Going back a few weeks, probably. But yeah. So long story short, I changed the. I've decided to change the show schedule, which I'd kind of been toying around with for a while. But this poll kind of confirmed it for me. I've been doing the show on Saturday for years and years, and part of that had to do with back when I started podcasting. I was in high school, and Saturday was kind of the only day I had free to do that. Saturday and then Sunday, back when I used to do a Sunday show. So I did do a Saturday, a Sunday show, but then I changed it to Saturday when I moved to Florida, and that worked well for a while. In some aspects, but as of like the past 2 or 3 years, I would say, if I'm being honest, I mean, Saturdays aren't really that good of a day to post videos or do live streams on YouTube in general. I've noticed that's where content, Saturday is the day where YouTube content just in general kind of goes to die, right? And so I've been thinking about changing the day in which the live stream show airs. And when I ran the poll, which I'm still trying to find, damn, I tweet a lot, actually. I didn't realize I tweet so much. A lot of people were suggesting that I I moved the show to Wednesdays and do Whitfield Wednesdays, and I kind of like that. So, for right now, at least, my new idea is to do the live show on Wednesdays at 9 p.m. Eastern. That's kind of when I'm thinking of doing the show. It is on Wednesday nights. Um, so the new schedule is going to be as follows. Monday, I'm going to do a pre-recorded show, just kind of where I read the news and catch up on some of the stuff from the weekend if there was anything relevant, and do a kind of like a Tim Pool style let's read the news and headlines show on Mondays. Except I'm not going to be gay and wear a beanie like Tim Pool does. It'll be like Tim Pool's daily stream, but way better. I'm hoping. Um, so that'll be Mondays, and I'll post that probably in the afternoons. Wednesday nights will be the live stream show. And then Fridays, I've got to be honest, I'm not really sure what I'm going to do on Fridays yet because there are a few shows on Friday night that I actually pop into. One of them is the MF or Cocktail Lounge, which is hosted by my good friend Matt from Foulball Productions. And I pop in there a lot on Friday nights, so feel free to pop in and say hi when I'm there too. But Friday is kind of going to be like, I wanted to do something on Friday. I'm just not sure what yet. I might do a live show if, like, guests on Wednesdays can't do that. A few people have recommended I do a call-in show then. But Friday is kind of TBD at this point, to be determined, I guess. So, just to kind of recap, Mondays are going to be the a pre-recorded show. That'll be a shorter show, with the exception of today. Wednesdays will be the live show, and then Fridays will be TBD. The one exception might be, like, I might skip the Monday show if, like, a State of the Union thing happens on, like, Tuesday, or if there's, like, an election night or something on Tuesday. And obviously we'll do a live stream on the Tuesday night of whenever the election is going on, and do a whole panel then. But for the most part, like, with a few exceptions, the show should be on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And that way it'll also give me a time to interview people and be a little bit more flexible with those people as well, because one of the other things too is I've had a lot of guests who I've asked to come on the show over the years, and I've had a lot of people who have said that they'd like to come on the show, but that they don't want to do Saturday, either because it's their time off, or because they've got kids and they just can't do it, or whatever the reason may be. Saturdays just don't work out. So we're kind of changing the schedule a bit so that it works out better for the guests and whatnot. So hopefully this will all work out. I'm kind of excited for the schedule change, if I'm being honest. And I'm happy to get my Saturday nights back so that I can, like, if I'm being honestly, so I can watch movies and play, video games like every other 20 something on a Saturday. Because guess what? I'm lazy like the rest of you people too. I like to do absolutely nothing on the weekends. But yeah. Anyway, in regards to what has been going on in the news and on the internet, um, oh boy, where do I start, ladies and gentlemen? Because there has been shit that's uh, occurred while I've been gone. And so I do want to go over a few of those things just real quick. Uh, in regards to the State of the Union, I did not watch it because that was like the week right after my grandpa died, and I mean honestly, when you're going through a period of grieving, uh, do you really need to watch like a a blither? I mean, my grandfather did not like Joe Biden, and so what am I going to waste time hearing the old man shout at clouds? Um, you know, it just, and from what I've heard, like I really didn't miss much from the Joe Biden speech at all. So yeah, I skipped the State of the Union, and from what everybody told me, I didn't really miss anything. So, uh, you know, I don't really have anything to say about the State of the Union speech other than, this is Biden's America, I guess, and welcome to that, I guess. So, the Ethan Ralph stuff, well, I mean, I've covered a lot of that on the good, the bad, and the vicious. Um, so I don't have anything to say on that front other than Ralph is a degenerate and you know needs to get help, but he won't because he's a narcissist, and you know he's gonna be a hollering. Well, he never stops hollering anyway, but you know I guess nothing new on that front. The only thing that I guess is really kind of newsworthy is that I guess in terms of internet localism is Owen Benjamin, um, who honestly, folks, I haven't covered in years on this channel. And honestly, there's really no point in me covering Owen at this point, except for this. Um, I did see that he got his Twitter. I did see that he got his Twitter account back. Um, people kept notifying me that it was back and whatnot. And yeah. So initially, ladies and gentlemen, I was gonna say that I honestly have no problem with Owen getting his account back, because I kind of like the idea that Elon Musk kind of wants to wipe the slate clean and reinstate previously banned accounts and give them a chance for, I guess, redemption or better behavior or what have you. But, ladies and gentlemen, as you are about to see, um, ladies and gentlemen, Owen, if I can get the thing to work here, folks, he decided to Owen decided, ladies and gentlemen, to block my ass, as they say. And yeah, not much else to say in regards to that. Owen Benjamin blocked me before I could welcome him back onto Twitter, and which I kind of find funny considering that I haven't interacted with him in nearly, like I haven't interacted with him in for the better part of 4 years almost, and I haven't talked about him really on this channel since probably about like 2019, I would say. So it's been a while. And the funny thing is, when he had initially gotten his Twitter account banned the first time, I was still friendly with him back then. So, there was no reason for him to be hostile to me then. Obviously, the whole gummy incident happened, just a few months later, and that's kind of where my beef started with him. And to be fair, I did spend 2 years kind of A-logging Owen, but for the past like 2 or 3 years, I really haven't interacted with Owen, and so there was no reason for me to block him. And in fact, I would have welcomed him. I would have welcomed him back on Twitter, and maybe offered him a spot on the show even. I don't know, but the man has since blocked me, so that is that. And yeah, there's not much else really for me to say on that. I really don't pay much attention to Owen at all these days. Couldn't tell you what he's up to if a gun were held to my head. I have zero clue what he's doing these days. I assume that he's probably still being a locale and doing something weird. But I I never intended really to like hurt him or anything with him. My whole thing was I was upset that he doxed one of my friends, and whatnot. So anyway, okay, I just got some mail, I guess. But yeah. So anyway, yeah, I don't really have anything to say about Owen. Other than I guess he's back on Twitter. So that's that. And yeah. Other than that, I can't really think of anything that's going on the internet or in politics that really needs to be brought up. I do know that there is that train spill that happened in Ohio, but honestly, I'm not worried about that. There's like a lot of speculation that train was full of nuclear waste or something like that, but I'm not sure about that in all honesty, what's really going on. So anyway, yeah. At any rate, ladies and gentlemen, I think that just wraps up for the show today. I just wanted to make those announcements, clarify some things for you, announce the new start time and whatnot, and yeah. So anyway, I hope that everything is going well for you guys, and whatnot. Shout out in the chat on the YouTube side for Max Sand, Genius Anus, Top Feed Coco, Saucin, Timmy, and Genius Anus. And apparently on the YouTube end, it says that the stream is no longer is the stream live or huh? Oh, oh wow. Huh. Did the channel get taken down? Is that what I'm seeing here? That is weird. Alrighty, folks. Well, that's a bit of an odd twist. But at any rate, I want to thank you for tuning into the Whitfield Report and excited for the new show lineup. Things should be going good ahead in the future, hopefully. From all of us here at NGC Studios, have a good afternoon. God bless. God save this great nation. God, freedom, I can see in that order, and I'll see you on the next show.
Thanks for listening to The Whitfield Report on the NGC Network. Please visit Sam's website at www.thesamwhitfield.com and support Sam on Patreon at patreon.com/Whitfield Report. Until next time, God bless, God save this great nation, and God, freedom, legacy, in that order.